Welcome back everyone, I'm K-Plays Games, this is EVE Online, and welcome to day 30 of our brand new 30-day Let's Play of a new character on EVE Online. This is it, we've made it all the way to day 30. We are, as you see, sitting in a Hurricane Battlecruiser. We finally managed to upgrade and get enough money to fit this thing out with mostly Tech 2 weaponry and repair systems. What's the plans for today? Well, the plan is we're going to do this 10-part storyline mission which we got. This was the mission I was hoping we would get. This is the first level 3 storyline we've ever been offered, and it just so happens it was the one I wanted. This mission is, as I said, 10 parts. It's quite long, it's quite involved. There's a lot of different moving parts in it, but during it we should pick up 3 or 4 implants which add up to a total of around 150 million ISK. And not only that, we're going to get an enormous standings boost if we make it all the way to stage 10. So let's speak to the agent and get a move on. Kidnappers Strike, ambush in the dark. They just received news of a grave incident that occurred in the next system a few hours ago. A convoy carrying our esteemed CEO was ambushed by an unusually large and organised pirate strike force. But fortune shone on us tonight, for due to the extraordinary bravery of our CEO's valiant escort team, they managed to escape unharmed, though slightly traumatised as you may expect. We lost many good men in this incident, including the commander of our escort team. Now, to the point. We believe the pirates managed to capture some of the crew of the cruiser which was escorting our CEO, but there was no trace of the bodies of most of the crew. Our Empire Special Forces have been called in and are scouring the area for any sign. We'd like you to help out in the investigation. They know of a pirate hideout. They are sending us there to bring back 10 units of prisoners with a total cubic volume of 75 cubic metres. They've got more than enough room for that. It is indeed one jump over. We're being paid 175,000 ISK. With another 2,000 ISK if we do it within 1 hour and 48 minutes. So 1 hour 48 tells you that the game doesn't think this is going to be too difficult. So let's accept and test out our Battlecruiser for the very first time.
Warp drive active.
Overnight we did train Navigation 4, so our base ship speed on every ship has been increased by 5%, and we did long range targeting rank 3, which increases our maximum targeting range by 5% on any ship. We're currently training Acceleration Control 3, which is going to increase our Afterburner or Micro Warp Drive speed boost per level, which is good, another 5% on that. And then we'll just do the 2 small projectile weapon specialization skills just to give us another 2% damage for autocannons and artillery. We're just finishing off. This is the last day of the playthrough. We're not going to get all the way down here. We're not going to get anywhere near. We might do 2 or 3 of the skills at the top. Look at this thing. It just looks deadly, doesn't it? Okay, we have an acceleration gate, which means we're going to be dropped off at a predetermined point in space.
Warp drive active.
Let's turn on our tracking computers with 1 tracking script and 1 optimal range script, so they're not stacking penalising each other and we're getting maximum bonus from each of them. Turn on the tank because we know this entire fit is stable even with the afterburner running as well. Okay, some Tech 2 tower sentries up close and a couple of cruisers up close. So let's go for the cruisers first because they will move. They will be more difficult to hit. The gun turrets will not. We are firing EMP ammunition, which is the correct stuff. How much should our keep it range be on the ship? Something like 30 kilometers, I think. Let's right click the button, make it 30,000. I mean, that is nice. And these guys seem to be going down just fine. Right, that's the ship's dead. Let's get rid of these annoying turrets now. They seem to be going down just fine. And it looks like everything is going to be within our targeting range. Because our targeting range in the ship is rather long. It is 69 kilometers. Nice. In that case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait for this tracking computer to finish the cycle and we're going to swap over to optimal range script, see if we can't snipe these guys from here. What is the fall off on our guns? 56, not all that good, so we will reload to depleted uranium, which is lowering our DPS, but it's extending our range quite significantly. And now our fall off range is at 74 kilometers, which is way beyond our targeting range. Well, that seems to be working. This is why you like Battlecruisers over cruisers for level 3 missions. Because it means you don't have to move and you can hit things from a million miles away. What is our DPS using this ammunition? Only 273. Our drone control range, I believe, is 60, so yeah. We can send the drones quite far out, but these guys are not within our drone range yet. But that is fine by me. Well, these guys seem to be absolutely melting, which is nice. Here we go, just one guy left. We'll just snipe him with our longer range ammunition. See, optimal range is 36, he's still not quite close enough for that. That's the downside of using artillery, it goes way long, but the optimal range is actually quite short. Because it's a projectile weapon, projectile weapons almost always fight in their fall-off range. But we're not missing all that often, despite that. And down he goes. Okay, now we've got to fly 45 kilometers and pick up that cargo can. And I think I will bookmark all of the wrecks in this mission. So let's save location, we'll just timestamp it. And we will come and pick up everything in these missions. In our little thrasher. Because why not? Might as well maximise our earnings. What's the maximum speed of this ship? Only 466 meters a second. Okay, we've made it all the way to the cargo can. Here's the guys we need. Let's take them. Thank you very much. Let's get out of here. Again,
drive active.
The tracking UI is a relatively new thing, and sometimes it gets confused, and this time it is confused. We have already destroyed all the enemies in the vicinity. So let's get out of here. There we are. Now it's finally updated. Now it's realised we actually have completed the mission. As I said, it's a relatively new thing and it doesn't work all that well.
Warp drive active.
Mission 1 of 10 done. Right, let's hand in the first part. Complete mission. Request the next one. And they say, after checking our logs, we noticed that only some of the prisoners you brought back were part of the crew that was captured after the pirate raid in our convoy. The rest are apparently former members of one of the pirate ships you destroyed, who managed to escape from the blast that destroyed their ship. So we're moving them to interrogation. It's in Remiru, which is a 1 jump over, so we're just going to do it in this ship. No need to change ships to do 1 jump. They're only 7.5 cubic meters, so that's going to be fine. We're getting paid 103,000 ISK for doing this, with another 73,000 if we do it within 54 minutes. So let's accept and do that, and I'll bring it back when that's been done, because you don't need to see this. Right, courier mission complete. I did buy some phased plasma ammunition, just because I realised we've been fighting mercenaries, and phased plasma is pretty good against them. It's another version of the short range high damage ammo. As you see, EMP does mostly EMP damage, and phased plasma does mostly thermal and kinetic, which is what we want to be fighting against mercenaries. So let's pick up a part 3. And part 3 is, they urgently need help intercepting a group of kidnappers who just managed to snatch the niece of our CEO while she was visiting her uncle in this very system. We believe they were a gang of mercenaries led by a felon working for the illegal organisation called Darkonen. This sounds a little bit familiar. What we have to do is to go there and capture this agent, the one prisoner we're supposed to be getting. We must have him here for interrogation, for we think he's the missing link between the kidnapping and those who are actually responsible for the crimes. So yeah, we need to go and kill lots of people, 1 jump away, bring back 1 unit of prisoners. We're being paid 414,000 ISK for this, with another 433 if we do it within 4 hours and 12 minutes. 4 hours and 12 minutes tells me this is a medium difficulty mission. And there's some blurb about who the Darkonen are. Seems they're a rogue element of the Khanid kingdom. Khanid themselves are an offshoot of the Amar religion. So they went a little bit too far and they've now been declared outlaw. So let's accept this mission.
Warp drive
One
active.
thing to note is that we are being provided with standings rises for each stage of this mission, but only for the Tashmarkon family. You'll see there's a plus here, which means it's gone up. There's the first one. There's the second one. It seems to be fairly similar to the standings gains you get for every level 3 mission. So we're effectively going to get another 10 standings upticks from this. And the one at the final mission is going to be absolutely enormous. We have not gained any standings with the Mar Empire yet because we have not finished this entire chain. We'll get an enormous boost to this.
Warp drive active.
Right, let's walk to the mission, turn on all the things. I'm going to reload the weapons to phase plasma, because I believe it's mercenaries we're fighting. If it's a Mars ships and it is indeed the Dark Omen, then I will probably reload back to EM. Is this an open pocket or do we have an acceleration gate? We have an acceleration gate. So again, we're going to be dropped off in the mission at a predetermined point in space.
Warp drive active.
This asteroid field has recently been settled by a group of pirate freelancers. A hastily erected mobile habitat floats in the midst of the giant rocks, while 3 groups of missionary ships are orbiting various asteroids. One of the ships clearly has the markings of your target, who seems to be the leader of this bunch. And there's an acceleration gate. Okay, 3 lots of bad guys. Who's the closest one? This one. We'll just draw a box around these guys. I am going to reload to tracking speed script because they are actually pretty close, and I'm going to try and take out the mercenary fighters first. Good, that's 1 down. I wanted to get rid of these frigates before they started moving, because that would have made them more difficult to hit. Now they're moving, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to spit our drones out and get the drones to kill the frigate while I smash the cruisers with my great big cannons. And it seems that this habitat is a dead space overseer structure, so well done developers, you actually managed to correctly mark a mission item. And apparently our drones have ignored my commands and split off to fight 2 frigates. There we go. See this settings wheel here when you mouse over drones in space? When it says focus fire? It's supposed to keep all your drones shooting at the same target. It has never worked in the 21 years that EVE Online has been operating, and the drones for some reason decided to go and shoot a cruiser instead of a frigate, so I had to tell them to go and attack the correct target. There we go, that's him dead. Let's just keep this guy at range, turn the afterburner on. Luckily all these guys down here didn't notice what we were doing, so I'm just going to target all them. Is that guy dead? Let's move on to this guy. The drones can stay out and help us. Should have bookmark one of the wrecks. I think maybe after the first 3 or 4 missions I'll go and get the Thrasher and pick up all the loot, because I cannot for the life of me remember where you get these implants from. I'm pretty sure they're loot drops. Okay, we're going to need 1 optimal range script here. 1 optimal range script just to push our fall off range out to 47, which is where these guys are round about at. So let's bring the ship to a halt and shoot at the closest fighter. Try and get rid of the frigates first. That looks pretty good. Yep, I like that. I like that a lot. Good. Because these are all mercenaries, every single ship is going to drop at least some kind of loot, which is one of the reasons I want to bring the Thrasher here. Accidentally shot at a cruiser. Oh well. Put the drones back out, they can go and kill the last remaining frigate. Nil desperandum, and luckily the guys at the back don't seem to care that I'm killing all our allies. Hooray for stupid NPC AI. It's wonderful. Safe to say that the Battlecruiser is working really rather well. Getting some nice big 3-digit numbers. Is that guy dead? Artillery cannons used to sound far more impressive than they do these days. Let's hold Alt and scroll wheel in, change your point of view so we can get a maximum close up. And hold Alt and scroll back out. Okay, let's approach the hideout because I'm going to have to loot that. Bring the drones back in, reload my guns. Change this to optimal range as well. Try and hit the frigates on approach. Come on, target lock them please. I could have fitted a sensor booster to the ship for faster targeting, but I really wanted 2 tracking computers. The little guy managed to repair himself quite a lot, which was annoying, but he's dead now. Right, let's get this lieutenant next and spit the drones out so they can add their 60 odd DPS to the party. Might as well use all of our 373 DPS. I'm assuming something is going to drop from this habitat. And that is our target, apparently. This named NPC, let's have a crack at him. What are his resistances like? Not terrible, but not elite. And he's just absolutely going down. Bang, dead. Goodbye, my friend. Let's just crack this egg. Double click to keep myself moving. I probably could fit a micro warp drive on this fit. Then it would only be cap stable with the micro warp drive off, and we don't really have to move all that much in this ship. It's a long range artillery fit. Let's put one of our tracking computers back to tracking speed. And it's a key card I think we need. Frozen food, don't care. Frentix, don't care. We'll pick that up in the Thrasher later. Okay, let's go. Let's get through the gate and into pocket 2. Okay, just 4 enemies here. They're at a fairly decent range for us, so we'll just right click. Incoming transmission. And it's absolutely blank. Oh, CCP, never change. And by that I mean, please change. Please fix all the broken shit in your game. This is embarrassing. Right, so there's an incoming transmission, but they're not telling us anything, so there we are. I'm assuming that was a dire threat to our life or something, but could have been anything. Maybe he was offering to buy us ice cream, don't know. Anyway, that's the 2 frigates dead. Let's smash the cruiser, pop our little drones out, get them to go and add their DPS to the party. And away they go. Let's just bookmark a wreck in this room. There we are. Let's have a look at this Link guy. Resistance is kind of alright, but not all that great. Artillery cannons used to sound much better. They changed all the weapon sounds. Some of the new weapon sounds are alright. Most of them are an absolute downgrade from what they were before. And he's dead, and he's dropped a cargo can. Right, I believe that's going to be the prisoners we need. So let's go and pick him up. And that is mission 4 done. I think after I hand this one in, I will go and get the Thrasher and clear up all these missions we have. Right, made it back safe and sound. Let's hand in part 3 and ask for part 4. And part 4, while we're waiting for the interrogation of the prisoner, they want us to take a data chip we retrieved from his belongings to another station. They need it deciphered, and yeah, we need to deliver 1 unit of encoded data chip 3 systems over. We're getting paid a measly 47,000 for this, with another 65,000 if we do it within half an hour. So I'll accept, I'll go and do that, I'll get the Thrasher, I'll clear up all the wrecks we've generated in the previous 3 missions, and I'll see you back here in a little while. Right, some time has passed. I went out in the Thrasher, I picked up all the salvage and loot, nothing spectacular, so these first 4 missions were not the ones that dropped the very nice implants. Let's find out if mission 5 is. And mission 5 is against the Darkonan. Kidnappers Strike, the first 4 parts are always the same, and then it splits into one of the 3 other paths, and looks like the path we have got is indeed the Darkonan path. So the interrogation went well. They managed to find out who he was working for. And obviously that was the Darkonan. And the data disk has revealed even more than the interrogation did. It contained the precise meeting points between the kidnappers and the Darkonans, which is great, so we're going to go there and bust some heads. Fairly simple objective, go there, kill everyone, come back. That's the kind of mission we like. We're being paid 101,000 ISK with another 119,000 if we complete this within 1 hour and 8 minutes. 1 hour and 8 minutes tells you it's a fairly easy mission, so let's set destination, accept, and undock. And once again we're in the mission system, and we're on the way to the mission. We'll find out if there's an acceleration gate or not when we land. Let's just turn on all the things because we've got the capacitor to let us do that on this brilliant ship. And there is indeed an acceleration gate appearing before us, so we're going to be dropped off at a predetermined point in space. We're going to bounce off this giant hitbox, aren't we? Yes, here we go. Doing. But we didn't bounce too far away.
Active.
So let's get through the gate. We may need to reload to EMP for this stage. We'll find out when we land. Instead of relying on a visual identification of the bad guys, I will click on them and have a look at their resistances. Dark One and Veteran seems weakest to EM. Dark One and Gang Leader weakest to EM. And they've learnt that we were coming, and the meeting is now no longer a meeting. Okay, there's a big bunch of them right here. So I think we're going to go for EM. Gang Leader, weakest to EM. Okay, they've spotted us. That's not great. Come on, guns, reload quicker. There we go. Pow, pow. Let's take out the frigates because they're on direct approach. Okay, drones can go and kill that frigate because I accidentally shot at the cruiser. But that does not seem to be a problem. Drones are fine. Guns are fine. Everything's fine. Shield is at 100%. So these guys must all be short range. Right, let's just turn the afterburner on and get moving. Bookmark a wreck. There we go. Drones have killed him. Let's bring the drones back in. Let's reload to our long-range depleted uranium, which isn't even really a long-range ammunition. It's the medium-range ammo. If we fitted like nuclear or proton, our fall-off range would probably be something like 80 or 90, but we only target to 69, so there's no point doing that. Right, let's just target lock everything. As soon as we get within range, I'll bring the ship to a halt and I shall try and snipe them from here. That looks pretty good. Why move if you don't need to? Especially since we guessed that these guys are all short range weapon fit. Because none of them are red box, which means they're not within firing range. So I would rather stay back here and pepper them with extreme long-range artillery fire, thank you very much. What's this Overlord? Again, weakest to EM. Right, let's go for the gang leaders. They're only worth 40,000 ISK. Not the most expensive cruisers I've ever faced in EVE Online. But they are all dropping at least some kind of loot, which is nice. And it appears that we have completed the mission by killing the first group. Well, obviously I'm going to kill everything because that's where the fun is. Optimal range 36. And because they're yellow box, it means they're directly approaching us. Well, usually if it's NPCs, it means they're directly approaching you. Because NPCs don't know how to fly properly. At least these ones don't. So the closer he gets, the closer to our optimal range he's going to get. And because he's on direct approach, we're going to get massively penetrates and smashes and wrecks and all that kind of good stuff. There's a penetrate, there's a smash. There's another smash, penetrate, smash. I'm going to be going down in short order. Nice. So far, Kidnappers Strike has been an absolute breeze. And down he goes, no reinforcements, let's go.
Warp drive
Let's
active.
get out of here. Because we're on the Darkonim path, we're not going to be using phase plasma anymore, so let's change back over to EMP. I think it's safe to say that Battlecruisers are pretty good for level 3 missions, mainly because of the range. Range and firepower. Their tank is not really any better than a cruiser. They do have a lot more base armor hit points, and that translates to time. It gives you a little bit more time to use your cannons to knock down incoming DPS down to a level at which your little rep can keep it going. Most battlecruisers have got enough power grid and slots for cap to use 2 medium armor repairers if you so wish. I never do. I prefer to kill things rather than just face tanking it, but you can.
Drive active.
That is something which you can do. Right, let's hand in this 5 out of 10 and request part 6. And part 6 says there's something's come along that's right up her alley. They've had a major influenza outbreak. I'm not quite sure why. I mean, this is nothing to do with the kidnapping situation. We're literally just taking some drugs from 2 jumps away and bringing them back here. I mean, it's literally nothing to do with anything. But that's what we're doing. So 114,000 is for doing this, with another 100,000 if we do it within 1 hour and 16 minutes. So I'm going to accept that, and I'm going to undock, and I'm going to bring you back when that's been done, because you do not need to watch me doing courier missions. And after a very short trip, we're back with the flu drugs, so let's complete that mission, which had nothing to do with the mission arc itself. For some reason, let's get on to mission number 7. And mission number 7 says they've received an anonymous transmission asking them to send specifically us to a meeting place in the system next door. It has also said the person you are to meet there has information that could be vital to an investigation of the disappearing niece. They're reluctant to send us since they smell a trap, but they really have no choice. Well, that's fine. We're a capsuleer, we're in a battlecruiser, I'm sure we'll be fine. So we're being sent to retrieve 5 units of prisoners with a total volume of 37.5 cubic meters. It's against Blood Raiders. We actually have a Blood Raiders icon, so EM is going to be our main ammo type, but we kind of knew that. We're being paid 293,000 ISK with another 236,000 if we complete the mission within 2 hours and 40 minutes. So let's accept and go.
Warp drive active.
And here we are, en route to the mission. We're loaded up with EMP ammunition, which is what we need, so let's turn on all the modules we need to turn on and see what awaits us in this mission. An acceleration gate. So we're going to get dropped off at a predetermined point.
Warp drive active.
And there's a welcoming committee here. We have battleship and 2 battlecruisers, and they're speaking to us. Say, welcome. I presume you're the one who reduced our base to rubble. That really complicated our operations and caused our leader to become quite angry. Even so, we don't blame you for it. You were simply following orders. We were quite surprised to find that the authorities had discovered the location of our outpost, which you destroyed. We were certain we'd been betrayed, and through our investigation of the matter, we discovered not only that had we been betrayed, but also framed by our rivals, the Blood Raiders. They were the ones who kidnapped the girl and started this whole mess. We had nothing to do with it. Their obvious motive was to trick your government into taking action against us. Although we found it hard to believe at first, we have a long-standing relationship with the Blood Raiders and regularly supply them with goods they cannot acquire through other means. That usually means humans, because Blood Raiders are a blood cult. Now here is where you come in. We led you here for a reason. This acceleration gate leads straight to a Blood Raider convoy, so they want us to go in there and do their dirty work for them. But you know what? They've been trying to kill us for quite some time, so I am not going to let these guys live. I'm going to reload to depleted uranium, I'm going to reload to optimal range script, and we're going to kill these guys, because one of them is a battleship worth 250,000 ISK. Let's just get in direct approach to the cruisers so we hit them nice and hard. They haven't noticed we're firing at them yet. Okay, now they have. Battleship doesn't seem overly concerned. The 2 cruisers are... Okay, now he's realised. Spit out the drones, get them to add their DPS to the party. Okay, that felt very much like a torpedo that hit us there. We should be fine. We've taken a tiny little bit of shield damage. Right, drones, get that guy. I need to reload to EMP. Keep approaching. Change back over to tracking speed script. Yeah, I'm quite happy just approaching him. We should bookmark that wreck. There we go. Right, let's take down the first battleship we have met on this entire 30-day playthrough, shall we? Let's take a look at it. This is an Armageddon model. Again, players can use that ship. It's mostly lasers, but he is firing the odd torpedo at us as well. Come on, let's take him down. There we go, and now he's into structure. He's repairing his armour fairly well, but that was to be expected. He is an armour tanking battleship after all. And down he goes. Right, let's investigate his wreck. Just have a little peek, see what he's dropped. Just random stuff. Right, we shall come back for that. So let's push on and get through the gate. Right, here we go, into the next pocket. That is a big long list of bad guys. They're all at fairly nice range. You're not a Dark Omen ship. Who are you? Speak now or we'll attack. Who do we want to shoot first? Let's go for this lot. Okay, they have some battlecruisers. Quite a few battlecruisers. Let's get rid of the frigates first, shall we? I've accidentally shot at the battlecruiser. Oops. Oh well. We just have to kill that as well. This is a Prophecy battlecruiser. Okay, they said the other three groups don't care that I'm killing the other group, so I'm fine for that. That ain't no problem. These little frigates are on direct approach, so they should be fairly easy to hit. Yeah, that would be a yes. Everything's just melting, which is what we like to see. Alright, and then we'll do this group. Let's save one of these. There we are, that's all the frigates down on that group, and there's 2 battlecruisers in this particular group, but I don't think they're going to be a problem. They're pretty much just outside our optimal range, so they're at a really nice range for us. I could even be persuaded to change over to the other tracking speed script, so you know what, I think I'm going to do that. There we are. It's cut our range quite significantly, but it has improved our tracking by a huge amount. Just target the group at the back. Arch Templars, I believe, are elite. Yeah, but they're not all that elite. So they are our next targets. It's very nice of them not to care that I'm destroying them group by group and bit by bit. We're missing rather a lot, so we're going to have to go back to optimal range script. And we're being tracking disrupted. That's not good. That means we're going to need optimal range script twice. Yeah, because tracking disruptor lowers your tracking and your range of your gun turrets. Looks like all 3 of these things are tracking disrupting us, so our fall off range has dropped all the way down to 33. Let's pop out the drones, get them to go and help. Sansha and Blood Raiders both have tracking disruption as their favourite E-War and energy neutralisers, so we could have gone down the missile launcher path with our Minmatar ships. Like the Bellicose and the Cyclone, things like that. Nice. Right, just this group at the bottom to go. Well, look, there's some actual mineable ore in here. Scordite, Velspar. It's lucky for us that the developers are quite lazy and they don't check their work. They've missed some mineable ores in some missions, this being one of them. Considering there was like 8 battlecruisers in this pocket and some elite E-War cruisers, it's been an absolute breeze because they didn't automatically aggress or care that I was killing the rest of their friends. I'm gonna have to reload. Let's just get the drones. Right, we've reloaded, let's open fire. Our shields are still not even at 50%, never mind our armour. Again, because they are not mercenaries, not everything is dropping loot anymore, but that's okay. I am fine with that. I don't think the drones need to be out anymore. I'm sure I can kill unarmed and lightly armoured transports on my own. Kill the closest one last, because I believe it's going to drop a cargo container for us. Let's just approach it. Well, this battlecruiser is working absolutely perfectly. I don't think we've ever been in any danger at any point. Yep, there's a cargo can we need. Let's go and pick that up. Check we have a bookmark in this room. Yes, we do. That's our people. Let's get out of here. Right, that was nice and easy. So let's hand this mission in. And request part 8 of 10. The Blood Raider Strike Force entered the system earlier today and wiped out some of our patrol ships. Now we've received a broken distress signal moments ago from our civilian convoys travelling to a supply depot. Okay, so the Blood Raiders are now openly attacking us. We have discovered their ruse and now they're just being blatant. So let's get out there and save this convoy. It's one jump away. We're being paid 73,000 ISK with another 67,000 if we do it within 44 minutes. Tells you it's quite an easy mission. Let's find out if that's true, shall we? Right, we'll go 1 tracking speed and 1 optimal range script. Turn on the tank and away we go. And as before, there is an acceleration gate here, so we're going to be dropped off at a predetermined point in space.
Warp drive active.
And there, this blurb says, as you approach the convoy, you notice the charred wreckage left behind. None of the transport ships have survived. However, the Blood Raider ships are apparently still at the scene and attack you immediately. At least we can get revenge. So, we're too late. Yeah, all the civilian ships have been destroyed. These guys are right up close, so let's change over to double tracking speed and demolish them. As soon as they all aggress, I'll put the drones out to kill the frigates. Right, that's long enough, I'm not waiting anymore. Go drones, go! Get the frigates! Just keep it range, but I'm not turning the afterburner on. I don't actually want to pull range, I just want to keep myself lined up. Good, drones have got 1 frigate down already. Let's save a wreck. There we are. Even at this very slow speed we're moving, everything's missing us with the little pew pew lasers. Yep, the Battlecruiser's just completely missing us, which makes life a lot easier. Good, drones have killed another frigate. That's the last of the Battlecruisers going down. Let's turn on the afterburner now and try and pull range on this little frigate. Well, that seems to work. Yep. Boom, dead. Alright, that was an easy mission. Let's go and hand it in. Right, so let's hand in this easy mission, and then I'm going to get a Thrasher and pick up all the wrecks I've been leaving. So I'll do that, and when we come back, it'll be time for number 9 out of 10. We're almost done. Right, that's another round of salvage and looting picked up. Again, nothing great, but we did get a decent amount of stuff. So let's do part 9 of this epic 10-part chain. And the agent says, as they've already mentioned, whilst we were scrambling around to defend our convoys from the Blood Raiders, a few of their agents broke into our prison module and managed to escape with your prisoners. So, the same prisoners we captured a few missions ago. Our interrogation was not complete and we need to get them back. So, off we go to Helaban, which is a 1 jump over. Lovely. We're being tasked with bringing back the prisoners again. We're being paid 89,000 ISK for this, with another 104,000 if we complete the mission within 1 hour and 4 minutes. So let's accept and get a move on. Right, here we go. Mission 9 of 10. Still no sign of these implants, which I know are part of this chain. I think the battleship we killed has a chance to drop one, but it didn't drop one for us this time. But I know there are some guaranteed implant drops in this mission somewhere. And once again, there is an acceleration gate. So at no point in this mission chain have we been able to pick our own distance. It's all been behind gates.
Warp drive active.
It's fine. Our mighty battlecruiser has acquitted itself with absolute aplomb and distinction. Nothing has come close to making us panic. What do we have? A whole load of cruisers and destroyers and frigates. Looks like there's 2 cruisers right up in our business, so we'll get rid of them first. And it looks like we have some mineable ore. Yeah, lots and lots of Veldspar in this pocket. Fair enough. Looks like all this crowd up here are the next targets. After we get rid of these 2 cruisers that were right up in our face. Just to keep it range with the afterburner off, just to keep ourselves lined up. Just save location on this. There we go. This guy's dropping fairly fast. And gone. Right, let's get rid of these little frigates up here, shall we? There we go, that's more like it. And as soon as they realise what we're doing, they're going to aggress and be on direct approach, which is bad for them because it makes us more accurate, as we see. But one more frigate who hasn't noticed what we're doing, and then the battlecruiser which is on approach. So here we go. And then we'll do this big crowd over here, and then the ones at the back. So far, so good. Nothing difficult at all in this 9 out of 10 mission. Boop. There he goes, he's dead. Right, let's get these destroyers. We don't like destroyers, just smash them. There he goes. And there's that one. And another destroyer gone, 2 more destroyers, and then 2 battle cruisers. Easy stuff. Whoops, okay. Well, since I've started shooting at the battle cruiser, we'll just put the drones out to kill the destroyer. Sure, it won't take them very long. Nah, they're just demolishing that little destroyer, which is nice. There we go. Teamwork makes the dream work. Turn the afterburner on, target lock the guys at the back. I'm just going to approach them. Bring the drones back, double up on the optimal range script, reload to depleted uranium. These guys are arch, so they're probably going to try and track and disrupt us. That's why I've gone for the long range ammo and the long range everything, all the scripts. We'll just try and hit them before they start lowering our range to almost 0. Again, if we were using missiles, that would not be a problem, because tracking disruption does not harm your missile performance. There are missile guidance disruptor modules, but they've been added to the game relatively recently, which means that the NPCs don't have them, because all the NPC stats were fixed long before that module came into existence. And again, because the developers are lazy, they never bother to update the NPCs, so no NPC in the game as of now uses missile disruptors. It's just tracking disruptors. Yeah, let's keep these guys at range. We're a little bit too close now. As soon as the first guy dies, I'll reload to EM because we're close enough. Reload one of our tracking computers to tracking speed because we're actually pretty close. Whilst that's happening, we'll be pulling range away from them. And here we go. Have we bookmarked a wreck in this? Yeah, looks like we did. Yeah, we bookmarked the first cruiser that we killed. And down that one goes. Any reinforcements? No, but a cargo can. Right, that'll be our prisoners. Let's go and get them. Well, that was easy. That's part 9 done. Onwards to part 10, I guess. After having picked up the prisoners, we're back home with the agents. So let's complete mission 9 and request the final mission. And here's one of the implants. We're being paid for completing this mission. This Inherence Lancer medium energy turret 805. This is a 5% implant. This is only available to Omega characters. It needs cybernetics level 4, which we can't even train for anyway, that's why it's Omega. I'm going to do a quick price check on this thing. And we can sell this for about 57 million ISK in MR, which is pretty nice. Plus any other implants we find in the final pocket. And we're being paid 1 million ISK bonus if we complete it within 5 hours. 5 hours means it's going to be pretty difficult. It's only one jump over. And the agent says, our intelligence team has just informed us of new evidence that apparently points to the girl being held at a Blood Raider stronghold. She's being held in their chapel and is going to be sacrificed in the near future in one of their blood rituals. Okay, against the time then. There is a fundamental problem, however. The Blood Raiders are fully aware of our intentions to free her and have sent in a huge big fleet of battleships. Now, I did not expect you to fight against such odds, but I firmly believe you are capable of infiltrating their base, rescuing the girl, and escaping. We have located a series of acceleration gates leading straight to the chapel. Once you arrive at the final room, all you have to do is destroy the chapel and get the girl. And if they send in a fleet of Amar Empire ships, then they'll just kill her before we can get in. So it's all down to us to blow up the chapel, rescue the girl, and get a huge big whack of faction standings and an implant worth 57 million and 1 million bonus pay. So let's accept and complete this gigantic 10 mission chain. Right, we're on the way to the final mission. Everything is prepped. We've got lots of ammunition and cargo, hopefully enough. Drones are all fine, everything's fine. Let's see just how many battleships are waiting for us, because the agent did say that the Blood Raiders had sent in a big fleet of battleships to protect the chapel whilst they ritually sacrificed the girl. Told you the Blood Raiders were weird. They are officially part of the Amar religion, but they misinterpret things or willfully misinterpret them. So they're all about sacrificing people to God.
Warp drive active.
There are many splinters of the Amar religion. It is very strange. And that's the way of all religions. Alright, we see some groups of bad guys. And there's a couple right above us, so let's get rid of them first. They're very close to us. A couple of heavy missile batteries, couple of frigates. I'm just going to smash the heavy missile batteries myself. As soon as the frigates wake up, actually before the frigates wake up, they're close enough that if our drones take fire I can bring the drones back in. Oh, they've instantly aggressed me anyway, that's good. That's one heavy missile battery down. Let's smash the other one. Drones have almost killed the frigate. There they go. And then there's like 4 little groups of bad guys just kind of spread around the area. Who's the closest? I mean, they're all pretty far away. So let's just approach this guy with the afterburner on. Maybe I should have refitted for a micro-warp drive. This may take some time. Come on, drones, you can do it. Right, let's bookmark a wreck at least, if nothing else. And I'm going to go over to depleted uranium. Maybe a sensor booster and tracking computer may be a better option. And that would be using either nuclear or proton, which are the extreme long range ammos. Hey, the missile launcher knows we're here. Just to extend our targeting range a little bit more. Come on. Come on. Let me get in target lock. There we go. Let's just smash this guy from where we are. We're just going to approach the tower. And the drones can go and munch on this guy. In fact, the drones aren't even going to get near him by the time he dies, so we'll just put them straight on the tower. Go drones go, kill that tower. And I'm going to approach the next tower now. I have a feeling that this gate is not going to unlock unless I kill everything, and killing everything is more fun anyway. All the drones are doing the business. They're quite happy just slowly chewing up the tower as I approach the next one. No, low shield warning. I haven't heard that for a long time in this ship, if ever. Drones have nearly killed the first tower, and we're within range to send them to the second tower as soon as they do it, so let's do that, and I'll approach the third. Okay, this isn't too bad. We haven't had to move all that far away from the gate. Like, we don't have to approach everything to within zero. Right, that cruiser is in range, so let's have a go at him. This Carpathia Shade is a very long way away. It's quite annoying. Gonna have to go and chase that one down. No, I see, we're being tracking disrupted. I did wonder why this guy wasn't dying. Right, let's just approach this Carpathia Shade. Right, that's the tracking disruption gone, so we should be able to hit this guy much easier now. Good, the drones have got rid of the next tower, so let's put them on the next one. Good, that's that Battlecruiser gone. Excellent. Let's just halt my ship, because we don't need to travel any further. This guy's tracking disrupting us, but I'm sure we'll be fine. That cargo container is going to be ammunition that one of the gun turrets dropped. There he goes. And the drones have just about killed the last turret, which is great. They can help us kill this one as well. I'm just going to approach the acceleration gate now. Ooh, fancy explosion from something. And that's the last of the gun turrets dead. Hurrah! Victory at last. Bring the drones back. A reload to EM, because after all we are fighting Blood Raiders. Oh, that took a little while, didn't it? And we finally made it to the gate, so let's go.
Warp drive active.
And what's in room 2? A huge long list of bad guys that scrolls all the way off the bottom of the screen. Okay then, these guys are right up in our business, so let's drag a box, change the optimal range script for a tracking speed script, like so. Smash the Battlecruisers. Yeah, everything's at nice close range in this pocket. I like that. Doesn't look like everything has aggressed, just the group we're shooting at, so that's fine. Hey, we might actually dip into armour. Our armour repairer might actually have to do some work. Fancy that, eh? The frigates don't seem to have noticed that we're destroying the battlecruisers, which is a little bit annoying. They don't seem to care at all. Let's see if we can't get their attention this way. Well, if they're not going to move or aggress, then I'm just going to destroy them from where they are, quite frankly. Okay, something's noticed us. So we instantly been tracking disrupted, and now we can't hit So, drones out. Go kill him. Turn all the guns off. Okay. Drones kill him. Who's next? This lot. Bring the drones back. In case they get aggressed by the guys up there. Thank you, Mr. Drones. Not the most difficult mission so far. There was a lot of flying around nonsense in the first pocket, but this one's been fine. Right, drones can get that seeker. Go. Get him. Get him, boys. Get him. Nicely done, gentlemen. Nicely done. I'm going to let the drones work on that cruiser, and I'm going to kill all the frigates on the other group just to aggress the group. And the cruiser's getting a little bit close, so let's just get the guns on it and help the drones get rid of it. There they go. Now they can go and play with him. And I can play with this Shadow Sage. Nice. Yeah, good, the drones have locked onto the correct target. Well done. They've managed to actually work their AI properly. It's fairly rare. Let's give them the broadside. Well, the tank is holding absolutely rock solid. These little frigates are just disappearing almost as soon as I target them, which is lovely. Right, just 2 cruisers to go then. Nice. We're actually going to have to reload our guns during a mission. That's a rarity.
A module has run out of charges.
Right, I can wait out a reload cycle, that's not a problem. Let's just approach the gate. We're not too far away from it, but we'll move towards it anyway. There we go. And he's gone. Well, that was quick and easy. Tank is absolutely fine. Reactive armor hardener has balanced itself out at 30 EM and 30 thermal. So resistances are 72 EM and 55 thermal on the armor. That's pretty good.
Warp drive active.
On to the next room. Before we go, we should check we bookmarked something in this pocket. Yes, we did.
Warp drive active.
I believe this is the final room. Yes, lots and lots of battleships. The only thing we have to kill is this Dark Blood Chapel here. So I am going to do that. I'm going to reload to depleted uranium and do double optimal range script. And I'm going to sit where I am and I'm going to destroy the chapel and see what aggresses. It looks like there's 2 groups of battleships, so I think we should be okay. They're so far apart, I don't think they're going to aggress each other. The chapel's just melting. Okay. Okay. Whoops. Attacking the chapel seems to have aggressed the entire room. That was perhaps not a wise move on my part. But it's going down. Go on, chapel, explode, explode, explode. The chapel has exploded. So let's get rid of these little destroyers which are on direct approach. Now that's a battlecruiser, dear, but you know, it'll do. Okay, that was a big chunk of shield just disappeared just then, but that's fine because we're an armor tank. So we just sit still where we are and just plink away at everything as it's on direct approach. I think all these little destroyers are going to be faster than everything else in their groups, so they might split themselves off and come within our targeting range, which would be nice. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna... Yeah, all the destroyers are moving up the distance chart, so they're gonna pull ahead of all the battleships. See, all these battleships here are red box, which means we're actually in range of them. And that'll be the big red beams that are getting fired at us. Okay, I can deal with that, I think. I'm going to bookmark that. So if we need to, we can just leave and hand the mission in and despawn everything that's here. It's a problem with depleted uranium. It's not the hardest hitting ammunition. We'll just try and get rid of as many destroyers as we can using depleted uranium, because they don't need very much damage to take down. We'll switch back over to EM and fight this Carpathus Shade. Another problem we're going to have with the Blood Raider battleships is that if they get too close, they're going to drain our capacitor and drain it quickly. But the range on their energy drain is only about 30 kilometers, so as long as we can stay out of that range, and there's no reason why we can't, we should be okay to kite the battleships using EM ammunition. The strategy of getting rid of the destroyers seems to be working an absolute treat. There's more of them there. Okay, tank's actually under a little bit of pressure. It's not fully repairing itself every cycle anymore. But that's okay, it's because we're not moving. Damn, I didn't want to shoot that. So let's get the drones out to play with that Battlecruiser. They can go and munch on him. I wanted to say to stay absolutely stock still while I was hitting these small, fast destroyers. And then we'll turn on the afterburner and pull range. One more destroyer to go. Right. Now we need to actually start pulling range on things and reload to EMP. Okay, let's see how this goes. We can always warp out and come back and then hope that the groups will aggress individually. I think they all only aggress because I destroyed their chapel, which is perhaps a mistake on my part. Okay, more and more battleships are coming within weapons range of us. Looks like the Archbishops and Oracles are very short range weapons because they are not red box yet. The ones that are red box are fine because we're more than fast enough to kite their damage. I mean, they're missing us most of the time. But we'll just keep plugging away. We'll destroy all the other battle cruisers because that will at least remove their DPS on the field, because they will be slightly more accurate than the battleships. Only slightly. But being battlecruisers, they're fairly large targets, which is why we're absolutely smashing them to pieces. Okay, one of the battleships just got a great big whack on us there. Ow. That hurt. But I would like to not have to leave until we've got rid of the battle cruisers. Then I think we'll deliberately warp out and come back in and see if we can't aggress the two groups individually. That's probably a smart idea. Because I would quite like to kill all the battleships because they're worth like 1 million each, so you know, that'd be nice. If we don't die in the process, of course. Almost at half armor, that's not encouraging. But the tank seems to be okay. Where's this Oracle? Right, let's just go straight up and see if we can't kill this Oracle, because the tank actually seems to be going up. Now that we've got rid of all the more accurate ships, As long as we can keep her speed up and stay out of their energy neutralizing range, we might be okay-ish, I think. Maybe, possibly. Maybe not. Are there any stations here? Yeah, lots. Okay, drones, come back. We need to align out. Hey, let's go. Let's get out of here.
Warp drive active.
Run away, run away, run away. Ideally before we take structure damage. Come on, let's go. Get into warp, please. And we are gone. Yes, we're gone. Okay, that was nasty. But we didn't die. We're all shot up, but that'll repair itself. So I think if we can go back and aggress these groups individually, then we might be okay. Let's just hang out here until the armour's repaired. Right, we're back in the Room of Doom. Oh balls, everything's really close. That's not great. So let's double click this way. The last ship we were shooting at was the Oracle, so let's try and get him. I don't want to aggress anything until I'm like quite a distance away from the Archbishops, because they are the ones that do the energy draining and they will drain our capacitor in no time. And that means no tank, and that means dead ship. I would rather not lose this battlecruiser, we only just got it. If you turn on the tactical overlay and have a look at all the ships, are they moving back to their spawn, or are they not? I'm not seeing any blue arrows, so they're all just kind of holding station where they are. That's slightly annoying. I kind of wanted them to move back to their starting positions, but they're not really doing that, but that's okay. Okay, I think we've pulled enough range on these guys now that we can open fire on this guy. Keep him at range, 40 kilometers. Okay, he hasn't noticed we're shooting at him yet. Okay, now they have. Just these two? Just this top group? Just the top group, please? Okay. Okay. I think we might be okay. The bottom group haven't noticed we're here. Let's sneak out our drones and get them to add their damage, because we're going to need all the damage we can get. Some of the tougher battleships require something in the region of 400 DPS to confidently take down. We're running at 373, so we're kind of on the limit. It would be nice to kill at least the Oracle and maybe both the Archbishops. But of course, with this group of 5 battleships down here not aggressing means we're only dealing with half the incoming fire, which is a lovely thing. Alright, drones. Okay, 1 out of 10 battleships down. I need to be a little bit careful at using keep at range, because these guys may be proximity activated, so I'd rather not do that, so I'm just going to double click this way. So I don't want these guys to catch us. And I don't want these guys to aggress until I'm ready for them to aggress. I need to keep moving so these big battleship lasers keep missing us like they're doing. I do not want any of that nonsense to hit me. Yeah, we're missing a fair amount, so I'm going to change over to the double tracking speed. Even though they're large, slow targets, we are moving quite fast across them. So far so good. We've got them below half armour, because these are armour tanking enemies, so if we can keep them below half armour, it means we can kill them, which is good. I'm just going to double click straight up now. Going to do some fancy manual piloting here. Oh, fancy as in moving straight up and straight down. Half shield warning, that's fine. I've almost killed 2 battleships and they haven't even got through my shield yet. Jolly good. we strayed a little bit too close to that guy, and he got one cycle of energy newt on us just before he exploded. So we know that their energy newt range is something like 25 kilometers. Because this guy isn't newting us, even though he's at 28. Okay, good to know. Reactive armor hardener is at 30 and 30, so that's not going to get any better. So the tank is now maxed out. I know I've run out of ammo. I'm working on it. It's a great comfort that this bottom lot did not aggress at the same time as the top. I was hoping that would be the case when we walked out and came back, and indeed it was. We'll have lots of loot and salvage here. In fact, maybe so much that the Thrasher may not be able to hold it all in one trip. It's a nice problem to have. Going a little bit too close to these guys now, so I'm just going to double click away from them. Kind of want to keep them further away than 25, but closer than 40, so I've got quite a thin window of distance that I want to keep them at. You see there, we took a little whack when we slowed down to change direction. That let them hit us. That's why we need to keep moving. This is not going to be a quick process. But I want these bounties and I want all the stuff that's inside them. These cardinals might be a problem at 1 million ISK each. As a very rough rule of thumb, the higher bounty on an NPC, the harder they are to kill, very roughly. The ones we've been killing are like 712, 543, these ones over here are all like a solid 1 million each. May not be able to kill them. Got too close to the Archbishop again. He's newting us. But he's dead. Hurrah! I'm going to turn off the armor repairer just for a couple of cycles, just to let the capacitor regenerate what it lost. Don't want to get within 25 of the guy we're shooting at. He's getting a little bit too close, so let's double click away from him. And he's gone below half armor, so we can kill him. Excellent. Very much weakest to EM, and we're going to run out of ammo again. That's going to let him repair. That's annoying.
A module has run out of charges.
Right, one more battleship to go from this lot. Now, one thing we are going to have a problem with is the daily server restart, because that's going to delete all the wrecks. And we do have 4 bookmarks, I believe. Yeah. Once we've killed this battleship, I may very well go and get the Thrasher and clear up everything that we've killed so far. That's probably a smart move. And then if we've got time, we'll come back and try and kill the other 5 battleships. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. Right, that's the last of these guys gone. Let's go and get the Thrasher and clear up everything we've made so far. Including that cargo container. I'm pretty sure that's going to have implants in it, so let's go and get that.
Warp drive active.
By the time that's done, I don't think we're going to have enough time to kill these 5 battleships. I am considering just handing the mission in. Because if we don't hand the mission in and downtime happens, it can either break the mission or it will respawn all the enemies and we'll have to do all that all over again. and I'd rather not do that. So I think I'm just going to hand the mission in and then clear up everything we've killed. Because these last 5 battleships, I know we're missing out on 5 million Iskin bounty plus all of the loot that may be inside them, but it's just going to take too long, and we haven't got enough time to do it before the server deletes everything. Right, made it back to the agent station, nice and safe. Let's complete the mission. Done. Pick up our expensive implant, which is worth 57 million. Take a look at the standings increases. Yeah, see this absolutely enormous spike here? That's what we got for completing that 10 of 10. There's like 1 of 10, 2 of 10. All of them given little bits, and this one, boom, plus 1.475. If you have maximum skills, when you do the 54 mission long Sisters of Eve epic arc, you get plus 0.875. This is plus 1.475. It is absolutely enormous, and it has catapulted our Amar Empire standings to 1.3 and our Caldari state to 1.24. Unfortunately, it's also lowered our Minmatar Republic and Galantia Federation by a decent amount. There's the faction standing increase, plus 0.638, and Caldari State gets plus 0.3, Minmatar Republic loses 0.3, and Galantia loses 0.1. But we don't work for them, so we don't care. Yeah, 57 million implant, plus all the bounty and loot and salvage and everything else. Not bad. So let's go and get the Thrasher and go and clear up after ourselves. Right, this is what the chapel has dropped. It has indeed dropped 3 implants, which is lovely. This one, which is a 3% to all turret rate of fire. Might use that myself, but it's worth 17 million. This one, which is a high wall mining, which adds 3% to all mining laser and strip miner yield. This is worth 20.8 million. And we have this one, which is a shield recharge. It is 3% boost to shield recharge rate. Another 18 million. Absolutely wonderful. That's why I had to make sure I came back here and got that before the server shut down. So I'm going to keep on keeping on and get all the stuff, and then we'll do a big recap at the end. Outstanding. Right, the salvaging and looting has been done just in time. There's only 13 minutes to go before the server shuts down. So even if we had tried to kill these last 5 battleships, we wouldn't have had time anyway, and that's what I thought. So this is all the loot from all 10 parts of that mission. As you can see, the estimated price is 160 million ISK. I told you, this is pretty much one of the best storyline missions at any level in the game. There is one which is similar called Shipyard Theft. It's not 10 parts, it's like 1 part, but it's really quite difficult. It's at level 4, and it also drops some high grade implants, but this is just outstanding. Viable items, all these big modules, these are all like battleship modules, and well, that's good. That's a Meta 4, which is the, there we are, Meta level 4. That's the highest you can get, and it's still being Tech 1. Tech 2 is Meta level 5 if we check the 150mm railgun 2 under attributes, Meta level 5. So this Meta 4 prototype Gauss gun is the best you can get at Tech 1. So that stuff is all worth selling. Implants wise, we can't even use this one, so we're just going to sell that. This is the mining one, don't care. That's shield operation, don't care. I'm actually going to plug in and use this gunnery implant myself. Do I want all of my guns to have 3% faster rate of fire? Yes please. So plug it in. Done. Salvage wise, 5.28 million ISK. That all goes in the container. Ammunition wise, I've just made a filter for all the projectile ammo. We'll just keep that medium stuff, and everything else all gets melted down into various minerals, which of course I'm going to use to build even more ammunition for myself. There it goes, and then we've got all the leftovers. There's all this trade good nonsense, and that goes into the sell box as well. So the loot for sale, 141 million ISK. That mission is absolutely outstanding. What is the plan for the rest of day 30? Remember, this is the final day of this playthrough. We've spent half the day doing that mission, but it was well worth it. What I would quite like to do is to take our anomaly hunting rupture out, and we'll actually go to the Blood Raider side of the Amar Empire, and we'll go looking in Debem and Nimidaz for blood refuges and see if we cannot rustle up a 4 out of 10 site. if I cannot do that, I'll just do another tour of Aja. Then we'll sell everything and we'll do a debrief about how this playthrough has gone. Because there are one or two other things I want to talk to you about. Speaking of the end of the day, at the start of the day, just after downtime, we should claim our daily rewards. Here's another booster, and another booster, more boosters for the booster pile. And today's two daily tasks are, wow, cool. Manufacture an item once, and manufacture an item twice. So, we'll just make some EMP ammunition, I think. Yeah, why not? Let's do some of that. We'll just do about an hour's worth. We'll do 10 runs. That'll do. There we go. That's our two daily tasks done. That was nice and quick. That's 10,000 skill points for us. And we'll claim that. And we'll claim that. And that's for 10,000 skill points. I'm just going to sink them both into Tech 2 small weapon specialization. Apply skill points. No, we're not, because they need 19,000 skill points for the next skill level. So we're just going to stick it in acceleration control. There we go. We're not going to get any more skills done. This is the end of the skills for this character, so we can just do that and remove. When that runs out, that'll be it. End of this character. So we have done just over 3 million skill points in 30 days. That isn't too bad. Anyway, I need to undock. I need to go all the way to Gibem and run some sites, and I'll bring you back if and when I find anything good, like a commander or an escalation. Okay, not entirely unexpectedly, Gibem was an absolute bust. I saw no Blood Raider refuge at all. I think this place has been picked clean, so we'll move on to Nimidaz, which isn't too far away, so we'll go and have a look at this place. This Nimidaz constellation also has 2 dead ends. Then we'll maybe go up to Canad and maybe even as far as the Bleak Lands. I'm going to keep trying. I really want to get this 4 out of 10. The problem is that if I scan a 4 out of 10, by the time I've gone home and got the Hurricane, it'll have been run by someone else, because 4 out of 10s is what everyone here is hunting. That's just the way it goes sometimes. So I'll see you if anything good happens. Right, welcome to Nimidaz. This place has been more productive. Here's a commander. I have barely seen anybody in my travels around Nimidaz. I've been left in peace to run 8 refuges. Haven't had a escalation yet, but here's the first commander. What's in his rec? Just garbage. Oh, god damn it. Right, fine. Let's do another refuge.
Warp drive active.
I'll keep plugging away, and hopefully something else cool will happen, and I'll be able to bring you back and show you what that thing is. Fingers crossed. Well, that is the end of Nimidaz. Nimidaz was much better to us than Gibem was. Gibem gave us no refuges at all. Nimidaz gave us 10, which is quite a lot, and 1 commander didn't drop anything. Still no 4 out of 10 escalation though. Now, the problem we have with Canada and the Bleaklands is that they are a very long way away. So I think I'm going to go back to Aja and do my usual tour of Aja, and then we'll maybe come out back to Gibem and Nimidaz a little bit later on today, because this is the last day, so it's going to be a long one. So I'm going to head home and I'll see you when we get there. So I've done a tour of Aja, and it wasn't all that great. I did find 12 hideaways which produced no escalations and no commanders. But we did find this 1 out of 10 Sansha military outpost, which we are now running in our little Rifter. This may be the last action of the day, because I have been going for quite some time today already. And we still have the roundup to do, so this may very well be the last gameplay. More blurb about what is happening in the second room that we don't care about. All we care about is killing the outpost security officer, so let's just approach him with the afterburner on. And we'll take out this group at the front. 1 in you, 1 in you, 1 in you. Killed 2 of them in 1 shot. That guy took 2 shots. We're missing because we're moving so fast, so let's just stop. Let our guns catch up with what we're doing. There we go. That's a bit more like it. That's much better. Let's get that key card that we don't need, but we'll get the Overseer's loot box. There we go. Even though it's only worth 10,000, we might as well pick it up. It is loot. Right, room 1, almost done. Missed one guy. Let's see, can you hit that little shit please? Little guns. There we go.
Warp drive active.
I think this is the final room. Yes, there is the thing that drops the loot. We haven't had too much success in these 1 out of 10s so far. 181,000 and 868,000. It's appalling. Maybe the third time's a charm. And what have we got? Just the box. That's absolutely bloody awful.
Warp drive active.
Our drop rate from our escalations throughout this playthrough has not been very good. And welcome back to the Amar Trade Hub, where I have just sold all the stuff we had in our giant secure container loot box. That has left us with 109 million ISK. That's lovely. What can we do with this money? Because today's the final day, we might as well spend it on something. I think I am going to buy a skill injector just to round off a couple of skills I really wanted to have done by the end of this playthrough. You'll find these in pilot services. It's skill trading. I don't think we're going to have enough money for a small skill injector. Nope, 185, so we'll buy a daily alpha. It's only 60 mil. We'll buy one of these. Here we go. Right click, activate, and we get 50,000 skill points, and just like so. And what I'm going to do is do small artillery specialisation. I'll just do that. That's 19,000. That's another 19,000. And we'll just put all the rest into this. So acceleration control 3.
Skill training completed.
Done. What can we do with our 2,679 unallocated skill points? Here we go. Here's something. We'll do a little bit of shield operation. Why not? There we go. That's that done.
Training completed.
And we've got enough to do level 2 as well, so we'll just do that.
Skill training completed.
There we go. And we'll put the rest into mining frigate. Right, that is all of our skills done. So we have absolutely maxed out all the projectile weapons, small and medium, that we could do. We have done small projectile turret 5, we've done medium projectile turret 5, we've done medium artillery and medium autocannon specialisation to 3, and we literally just did small artillery and autocannon specialisation also to 3. Sharpshooters at 4, surgical strikes at 4, motion predictions at 4, rapid firings at 4. The only ones we didn't quite get to were trajectory analysis, which adds another 5% fall off, and gunnery itself, which adds just another 2% rate of fire. But that doesn't matter, because we found on that 10-part mission a rate of fire implant which gave us 3%, so we've effectively got better than the gunnery bonus anyway, so that's nice. So the gunnery was one of our primary skills that we spent all of our skills doing. Spaceship command wise, Minotaur frigate 3, destroyer 3, cruiser 3, taking them to 4 would just take too many skill points. Spaceship command is at 3, it had to be to unlock Minotaur Battlecruiser. We also took that to 3. Mining frigate 1.5. Targeting, target management 4, maximum targets, long range targeting 3, signature analysis 3 for longer target range and faster target speed. So we've pretty much maxed out all the combat skills we wanted to do, which is perfect. Speaking of skills, we need to talk about the so-called Magic 14, or as I like to call them, the Tragic 14. These are 14 ancillary support skills that do take effect in any ship you're flying. So from that respect, they're pretty nice because they apply to any ship, so it's never wasted to do these skills. But somewhere along the line, this little group of 14 skills, instead of being, yeah, these are nice things to have because they apply to any ship, somewhere along the line that was corrupted and perverted, and now it's become, these are 14 skills you absolutely must do before you can undock in the game ever. So if you're a new player, please spend 3 months training these skills, and then and only then should you try and fit a ship. And that is one of the reasons why EVE Online only has a 4% player retention rate at 30 days. So 96% of the people that start EVE Online are no longer playing EVE Online after their first 30 days, mainly because idiots tell them to do all these stupid boring skills for no reason. This is the Tragic 14. CPU management, which gives you 5% bonus to ship CPU output per skill level. You start the game with that at level 4, so you already get a 20% CPU bonus to any ship. Do you need to take it to level 5? No, you shouldn't. You should not take that to level 5. Taking that to level 5 will cost you 210,745 skill points. That is a hell of a lot of skill points for a brand new player. I'd rather you sunk it into cruisers or battlecruisers or something more fun. Power grid management gives you 5% extra power grid per skill level. And you also begin the game with that at level 4, so you're getting 20% more power. Again, this would take you another 210,745 skill points to take to level 5. That's a lot of skill points, and it's a waste of time doing it, considering you start with it at level 4. Capacitor management gives you 5% extra capacitor capacity per skill level. This one's quite good. You start with it at level 3, so you get 15% more cap. And we took it to 4 because having more capacitor is nice, and we had a lot of unallocated skill points. But buying Tech 2 rigs would have done the same job, and we did indeed buy Tech 2 rigs for some of our ships. As we know, some of our ships have a mix of Tech 1 and Tech 2 rigs because that's all we needed. So if we had not taken this to level 4 and left it down at level 3, all we would have to have done is spend a little bit more money on buying more Tech 2 rigs instead of Tech 1, or implants or something like that, because this is a 3 times skill. So you start with it at level 3, and to go from level 3 to level 4 with this, we would need 37,255 times 3. So we would need 111,765 more skill points to take this to level 4. We did it because we're using a cap intensive fit, and because I didn't want to have to wait until we had enough money to buy rigs. I mean, other things we could have done is simply take off a gyro stabilizer or something and added another cap power relay. There aren't an awful lot of capacitor modules on your ship. Capacitor batteries, capacitor rechargers, capacitor boosters, capacitor flux coils, capacitor power relays, power diagnostics, capacitor control circuit rigs, and semiconductor memory cell rigs. That's like 9 different modules you can add to your ship for cap, taking up medium, low and rig slots respectively. So there's really no need to go spending hundreds of thousands of skill points to do this skill. Capacitor systems operation also speeds up your capacitor recharge time per skill level. You start the game with this at level 3, and that is as high as alphas can get it. So there's not even any point talking about this one. Mechanics gives you 5% bonus to your hull hit points per skill level. You begin the game with that at level 3. We took it to level 4 because I wanted to get medium armor repairer 2. And this brings us on to another good point about the Magic 14. As you're skilling up to Tech 2 weapons and equipment, you will have to do these skills anyway as part of the requirements for the Tech 2 equipment. So what is the point in telling new players to spend hundreds of thousands in skill points to do these skills which they don't really need, when they're going to do them anyway when they feel the time is right for them to move up to Tech level 2? Because that is what happened here. The only reason I took mechanics from 3 to 4 is because we needed it for Tech 2 medium armor repairers. Hull upgrades. This gives you 5% more armor points per skill level. We begin the game with it at level 3, and we still have it at level 3. If we'd taken it to level 4, we could have got all the Tech 2 stuff like damage controls and unlocked all these armor compensation skills, which make all the layered coatings even better. But I didn't care. If you take it all the way to 5, then you get all the Tech 2 energized stuff. But I just didn't care. We didn't need it. We had a reactive armor hardener, and that was absolutely fine for everything we did, all the way up to level 3 missions. Shield management. We're an armor tanker, so I don't give a crap about shields. And if I was a shield player, I wouldn't give a crap about the armor ones. So pick one of these and just do them. There's no point telling new players they have to do the shield and the mechanics and hull upgrades to boost their shield, armor and hull hit points. Yes, it's nice to have them maxed out, but there's absolutely no need to do it right at the start of the game. This gives you 5% bonus to shield capacity. We started with it at level 1. We can take it to level 4 if we wanted to, but we didn't train it any more than level 1. As you will see, the required 4 is greyed out at levels 2, 3 and 4. It unlocks all the stuff at level 1, and we began the game with that, and then all this other stuff unlocks at level 5, and nothing else between. I mean, it's good to get extra shield capacity if you're doing like a passive shield tank with the way that shields work. And similarly, shield operation reduces the time taken to go from 0 shield to maximum shield, which again is really good for passive shield tanks, but we are not. We were active armor. We started the game without the skill even injected. As we saw just about 5 minutes ago, we used up the very last tail end of our free skill points just to have it trained a little bit. At rank 1, it opens small shield booster, medium shield booster, large and extra large shield booster. So pretty much that's all you need. Level 2 opens up the ancillary shield boosters. Ancillary ones consume capacitor charges and give you huge shield boost, but when they run out of capacitor charges, they consume a hell of a lot of capacitor. Level 3 opens up some more skills and more Tech 2 equipment, and levels 4 and 5 do the same. So we were an armor tank, so I don't care. We have shield management at 1 and shield operation at 2. Long range targeting is always nice, so you can target things from further away. That only really came into play for us because we like using artillery and we like being able to target lock further so we can shoot things further away. If I was always going to use autocannons or micro warp drives, I probably wouldn't have taken this skill. As we see, you begin the game with this at level 1 and that opens up sensor boosters, and that's all we really wanted it for. I don't even think you need it for signal amplifiers, so didn't care about that. Nothing else unlocks until level 4, that's only the Tech 2 sensor booster, so the only reason I put this up to 3 is so I could get slightly longer targeting range. Again, I could have just removed the gyro stabilizer and put another signal amplifier on to extend the range, but we had the skill points, so I took that to level 3. Signature analysis, simply for faster targeting speed, increases your targeting speed 5% per level. This was fairly important for what we were trying to do, targeting lots of tiny frigates and many different anomalies as fast as we could. That one actually made some sense for us, so we took that up as high as we could. See, nothing is unlocked by signature analysis until you get to level 5, and that's all the Tech 2 cruisers. So if we were going for Tech 2 cruisers, we would have to do this skill anyway. Which again, I've already said this about the Magic 14, when you're moving up to Tech 2 ships and equipment, you will do these skills anyway because they're all prerequisites for that stuff. So don't worry about doing them right at the start. Just worry about doing them when you're actually training for Tech 2 stuff, because you're going to do them anyway. Navigation. This boosts the sub-warp ship velocity per skill level, gives you 5% faster normal base ship speed, which is then multiplied by your afterburner or micro warp drive. You begin the game with this at level 3, we took it to level 4 just because I had nothing better to do with my remaining skill points. That's literally the only reason I took it to level 4. I do not care about heavy warp scramblers, these fit on battleships and we're not in a battleship, so who cares? Acceleration control is pretty good, but then you start with navigation at 3, so it unlocks the skill right at the start anyway. Evasive manoeuvring just increases your ship's agility, which is how fast it can turn, which means you can orbit faster. Because when you tell your ship to orbit at say 5,000 meters, it will slow the ship down to a speed at which it can maintain that orbit. And if your ship is more agile, it means you can go slightly faster in an orbit. That's pretty much all it does. And of course it will help you align into warp a little bit faster. You begin the game with this at level 1, we took it to level 2, just because we had, again, some spare skill points to use up, because nothing is unlocked until you get to level 4. And that's a heavy stasis grappler, which is a battleship weapon, so who cares? Warp drive operation. We started the game with this at level 1. This reduces the amount of capacitor you need to get into warp by 10% per level. So it's a complete luxury, you just don't need it. Again, if you're going for things like interdiction nullifiers, you will have to take this to 4, but we can't use them anyway because we're alpha, we're not omega, so we can't use them. And all the useful stuff is unlocked at level 1, so who cares? I don't even remember why I took that to level 2, probably just because we had spare skill points to use up and it was a short training skill. Similarly, Spaceship Command improves the ship agility just in the same way that Evasive Manoeuvring did. Spaceship Command and Evasive Manoeuvring are good if you're trying to build a frigate which can align and warp in under 2 seconds, but you can pretty much do that anyway. You don't have to take these skills up all that high. All you have to do is to fit a few inertia stabilizers and maybe a low friction nozzle joint rig or two and you'll get it below 2 seconds. The only reason we took this to In fact, we didn't take that to anything. You start the game with this at level 3, and that let us use Battlecruisers, and that's as far as we wanted to go. If we wanted a battleship, we would have had to take this to level 4. So as you can see, the Tragic 14 are useful, but they are by no means mandatory. Look at us. We've got like a ball load of ships and 3 million skill points and 48 million ISK in the bank. We did not need these 14 skills. Most of them you start off at really high. I think I've only upgraded about half of these skills, and even then it was only by 1 skill level, and we're absolutely fine. So let's go back home and review our fleet. Right, here we are back at home. Fleet wise, we have ourselves a Rifter, which is doing 107 DPS. Sorry, 108.7 I should say. Not too shabby, and that throws it all the way downrange to 21. And its targeting is only 25, so that's pretty good. This thing served us well. It ran it ran a few 1 out of 10s, none of which paid us any money, but the ship worked fine. We have this Thrasher for running 2 of 10s, which does 168 DPS and throws it downrange to 20 kilometers, so that's pretty good. And it's also got a micro warp drive for running around pretty fast. This thing served us quite well. It ran a few 2 of 10s, and 2 of 10s were actually our biggest earners, strangely enough. If we look, our 1 of 10s, we got 181,000, then 868,000, and then today we got 50,000, so absolutely terrible. And I think we only ran 2 out of 10s, and we got 49.6 million and 53.7 million, so well done, Mr. Thrasher. We have this artillery fitted Rupture, which does 280 DPS and throws it all the way out to 35 kilometers, which is really quite respectable, even though it targets all the way out to 73. Getting a Rupture to hit anything at 73, you could probably do that with Proton, I suppose. Where is Proton? There it is. Proton goes out to 62. Throw on a optimal range script. Yeah, it'll go out to 67, but you're tickling things with 160 DPS. But you can do that if you want. So this thing served us well. It took us through all of our 3 out of 10 escalations. Not that they paid all that well. 1 million, 2 million. Here's 74.6, 17.9. Nothing but the Overseer's effects. 1 million, 78.3, 500,000, 2.5, and then nothing but the personal effects. So we only really had 2 that paid out well. The 2 that were at 73 million. This 17.9 is kind of meh. But yeah, considering we had quite a lot of these escalations, they did not pay out very much, and that's quite sad. And of course we have this beautiful autocannon Rupture, who was the one that was farming all the sites for us. At the moment, thanks to the new implant we just put in our brain, this is doing 322 DPS, but you don't need all that much DPS to kill little tiny frigates and high security space anomalies. The stars of the show are the tracking computer and the sensor booster, which let us track these little frigates and target them faster. So this thing served us really well. It was the main workhorse that did most of the work, and the work it did was 112 hideaways and 64 refuges. That's not bad going. Of the hideaways, 5 of them provided us escalations, and that works out as 4.64% of the time. And we got only 4 commanders, none of which dropped anything, and that works out as 3.57% of the time. Now the refuges seemed to be much more productive. They did give us 6 escalations, which is 9.37% of the time. But I think that was an anomaly. We would have to run a lot more refuges to get a bigger sample size. As I said today, I went over to Blood Raider space, I ran 10 blood refuges and I got nothing. Getting 6 escalations from 54 sites is considerably more than getting 6 escalations from 64 sites. So I think if we kept playing and taking the Sansha refuges all the way up to 100, which based on this would take us another 2 or 3 weeks, then we would actually get a more representative sample size. Commanders wise, we only got 4 commanders, they didn't drop anything good, and that was 6.25% of the time. So if we had played for another 30 days and got even bigger sample sizes, I reckon we would eventually settle on around the 5% level, which is where you're supposed to be with all these chances. So we did really well to get 11 escalations and 8 commanders out of these 176 sites that we ran. A little bit over 5%, so we did quite well with that, so I'm quite pleased with that. That was good. When we first got our autocannon rupture, it was doing on day one, yes, we got this thing fitted out and skilled up on day one. It was only doing 172 DPS and now it's doing 322. That's an enormous increase. That is an 87% increase in performance simply by training skills and going up to Tech 2 weapons and gear. So that was rather nice. So that is how well we've improved. We've come pretty close to doubling our damage on this. We also have a probe, which is kitted out for hacking if we want to do data sight. We've got the scan range finding array and acquisition array, which are really nice. They speed up this. This one makes your probing more accurate. This one gives it more strength. So this is a really good ship for finding sites and hacking things. Got a venture for mining. It's fairly decently fitted out. It's defensible enough in most high security space. Having a multi-spectrum shield hardener, an extender and some extender rigs should let you be able to just ignore the basic NPCs because you will out-repair them. Even if you're not at the computer when they attack you, you'll be fine. Even if you do come under attack, you've got 2 hobgoblin ones to take them out with their amazing 25 DPS, so yeah, not bad. Other things we managed to do is our standings. We managed to get our Amar Empire and Kaldari State above 1. We got Kaldari State above 1 today because of a derived modification from doing that enormous 10-part chain. So yeah, we now have access to every single level 2 Amar Empire and Kaldari State agent. We did have access to all level 2 Minotaur and Galente agents as well, but because of the derived modification from today's huge increase to Amar, they've just dipped below. But if we went over to Galente Federation or Minotaur Republic in our Wreath and ran 16 level 1 distribution missions and then ran a little tiny storyline, this would go up a little tiny bit, back over 1. Amar and Kaldari would go down a little tiny bit, but still be over 1. And we would have access to every single level 2 agent in all of HiSec, so that would be rather nice. We have level 3 missions open with the Tashmarkon family. In fact, we're very close to getting level 4 with them, 5.99 with this single corp. If we ran another 16 distribution level 3 and another storyline, we might very well end up at 7.0, which opens up level 4 agents. Not that we can do level 4 agents, because we're alpha, and alphas are banned from level 4, because they got botted to all hell. That was when they changed alpha clones to being able to use battleships. We told them they were going to get botted to hell. They didn't listen. They did it anyway. They got botted to hell, so they had to ban them all from level 4 missions. So yeah, we've taken the mission system about as far as we can go, at least with this family. If we keep playing, we can slowly grind up all 4 empires to above 3.0, which will give us access to every level 3 agent in high security space. Not that we have to do that, because level 3 missions are absolutely appalling. Other than Kidnappers Strike, of course, that one's amazing. We also need to take a look at our wallet to see how much money we made in total over the last 30 days. So let's have a look. If you go to the overview, this is a rolling 30-day average, and since this is our 30th day on EVE Online, we know that this is exactly the money we made in the first 30 days. Income wise, we have an income of 463,777,982.92 ISK. That's not bad at all. We spent 415 million on various excellent things. 74.7% of our income came from trade, and that means the value of the items we sold, which was all of the faction and dead space and other things which we found. 9.4%, this red section here, is the bounty we got. 43 million ISK in bounties. Most of that was probably from running anomalies. We didn't run that many missions at level 2 or at level 3. 9.3% miscellaneous. Not quite sure where that comes from. That was probably the daily reward goals. Every day we do 2 of the goals and get 1 million, so that accounts for at least 30 of that. The other 43 and the rest must have come as other things, I think. And agents and missions, obviously this is all the missions we ran. We got 30 million from that, so that's not too bad. What were our expenses? Yep, trade, things we bought, 7.3% miscellaneous, probably taxes, I would think that is. And apparently we spent 4 million on bounty. That must be the 11% tax which we are subject to, being a member of the Pator Tech School non-player character holding corporation. These have an 11% tax rate. Tax is taken on everything you sell and any agent pay, which is over a certain threshold. I believe that threshold is 50,000 ISK, I think. So I think that's all the taxes we paid, is this miscellaneous. Agent submissions will be tax. This bounty will be tax. Industry, that's all the jobs we submitted. So yeah, not too bad. So we've finished with 48 million and we made 463 in total in 30 days. That's pretty good going. That's an average of around 15 million ISK a day income. It's not great, but remember that's spread out over 30 days and we only actually played the game for 10 days. So when we divide that by 10, that's like 46 million ISK a day, which is not bad. See, we had actually been on the grind every day doing 46 million a day for 30 days. How much would that make us? That'd make us about 1.3, 1.4 billion, something like that. That's not quite enough to be Omega with ISK. There are two ways to go Omega. You can pay cash or you can use Plex. I haven't talked about Plex because we've never had to. Plex is an item you buy in the market under pilot services. Plex, currently about 5.5 million each. You can get that a little bit cheaper somewhere else. And you use Plex as the common currency to buy game time and all other kinds of vanity items on the New Eden store. So let's take a look at the New Eden store. Here it is. It bombards you with all kinds of deals, hot, buy this now, and it's really confusing. What you want to do, if you're looking for Omega time, you go to services and then either Omega time or starter packs. These packs are usually really good value, but they are one-time purchase, so you can buy each one of these once. See, if you're going to buy 1 month Omega, which is 30 days Omega, it costs 500 Plex. And if you remember from a few seconds ago, Plex are running about 5 million each, so you're looking at 2.5 billion ISK to be able to purchase enough Plex on the market to be able to hand it in for 30 days of Omega time. But that is if you only buy 1 month. If you buy 3 months, then instead of 1500 Plex, you only need 1200. That's 20% cheaper. So instead of needing 500 Plex a month, you only need 400 Plex a month. And the more you buy, the cheaper it gets, all the way up to the 24-month deal, which only costs 6,500 Plex instead of a whopping 12,000, and that's a 45% discount. So that reduces the amount of money you need each month by a significant amount. But again, you will have to keep playing as an alpha until you've saved up enough money. If you're going to go Omega, I would suggest getting a starter pack. There are these career packs as well. These only give you 14 days Omega though, plus some cerebral accelerators and some other things as well, like expert systems. So I would probably recommend you take a starter pack, this bronze starter pack, 14 days Omega, 50,000 skill points and some vanity skins. So that's 250 Plex. The silver pack, I believe, actually gives you 1 month. Yeah, 30 days Omega clone time and 250,000 skill points and some vanity items. But again, it is only 1 month of Plex, so if you really want to be Omega, save up your Plex and go for at least the 3 months, because not only is it cheaper at only 400 a month, that then gives you 3 months to earn even more money, and hopefully next time you'll be able to earn enough to buy the 6 months. Or if not, you'll get the 3 month again and have more than 1200 Plex. Say you get like 1600, you'll have 400 left over, and then you can start working towards the 6 month. So that's how Plex works. So yeah, if you wanted to be Omega and only buy it 1 month at a time, you will need 2.5 billion ISK a month. The more Omega time you buy, the cheaper it gets, and if you get the 24 month deal, you'll only need about 1.6 billion a month. And we've figured out that if we had done this level of income for 30 days, we'd be pretty close to that, and we're a brand new character, so Omega is not that difficult to do. But don't stress about it. I mean, I'm having plenty of fun as an alpha. I don't need it to be Omega. The only time you ever need to be Omega is when you're trying to do things which need Omega, such as Tech 2 ships or cloaking devices and all kinds of really advanced kit like that. We're not in any need of that stuff anymore, so I'm going to just stay Alpha. But other than that, that is it. That is how good our character got in 30 days. So that's the end of this playthrough. It was a very interesting 30 days. Now let's have a look at how much playtime we've done, shall we? So yesterday we did 2 sessions, one at just under 4 hours, another one at about an hour and a half, so that was 5 hours 13. And today I did one at around 4 hours, and this one right here, which is currently around 2.5, so that's another 6.5. So that puts us at just under 12 hours for this week, and in total for the entire playthrough, 49 hours and 6 minutes. So that is not too shabby. Considering we've only played for 50 hours over these 30 days, we've achieved rather a lot. I hope you've found this informative and entertaining, and we'll have to see what else we can do in EVE Online. Maybe we'll do some other kind of weird challenge. Let me know in the comments, and until we see each other again, do look after yourself, and I'll speak to you again soon.